You are listening to Spoiler Alert Radio, all things film, locally and globally, podcasting at spoileralertradio.com. We are here at the Rhode Island International Film Festival on Spoiler Alert Radio. Joining us is Christopher Martini, who has a film in the festival called The Stone Child. Welcome, Christopher Martini, to Spoiler Alert Radio.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
So then what moved you to make The Stone Child?
I was living in Salt Lake City. I was working on a show called Touched by an Angel. And I was working with an all-Mormon crew, basically. And so I started to write a script about them because I was really interested, and I read basically everything I could read on their religion and started writing the script about Mormons. And the more I read about that, I kind of realized there was all these Native American influences embedded in their religion. So the script started to take a new direction, and it became about Native American people, which took me to Pine Ridge Reservation. I sponsored a child out there on the reservation, and that kind of brought me into the community, and I just got involved going to like Sundances and helping out where I can to learn about the culture. So the script became about both of those cultures. In the feature, the kid's mother, he's an 11-year-old boy. His parents are divorced, and his mother's a Mormon, and his father's a Native American artist living on the reservation. So the story is really about how he comes to terms with the divorce in the family and these two worlds. And we've gotten a lot of great attention from it. I kind of see it like Rabbit-Proof Fence meets Kramer versus Kramer. I know that sounds crazy, but I wanted to show a real family just going through real things and something that's universal, but that allows you to glimpse a culture that you might not know anything about. We were shortlisted at Sundance Institute twice, and it got into the IFP market in the emerging narrative category. And this is the script. And it was quarterfinalist at a couple of competitions. And while I was at the IFP market, I decided to make a short film based on the feature. We shot this in 2 days in the Badlands of South Dakota with non-professional actors. Nobody had any experience except for one guy who told me he had no experience, and then later told me he studied with Stella Adler, and he's from Brooklyn, so that was kind of surprising. And, we shot it, and I'm just very happy that it's gotten into 3 festivals and just ready to get the feature out there.
When are you planning to move into the feature aspect of it? After you play festivals at this point?
The project had been with me for over 5 years. I'm embarrassed to say it, but it's a very personal story to me, and I have a lot of emotional investment. I've met a lot of people, and I've done a lot of talking about it. And so when I was at the IFP market, I decided I had to shoot something because it just had been in my head too long. So what I did was I had a fundraiser in New York to raise money to make the short. We had Native American musicians come in from all over the country and play at this big event, and we had Native American artists donate artwork, and we raised enough money to shoot it. So what I wanted to do was take it around to festivals and be able to have more leverage to pitch the feature, because it's not that it's a tough sell. I mean, movies like this do very well because people are genuinely interested in seeing movies about other cultures. A lot of these movies resonate when they're about something that we all experience, So I wanted to make the short film and be able to be in a position to show people what it's going to look like.
To some extent, it almost feels like it's a documentary in a way, like you're just filming reality.
Yeah.
I thought you did a good job. Simple scene of when they're going into the restaurant,
Yeah.
I think a big part of this, not only is there the story, there's the atmosphere, to make it believable.
Well, one thing that I know works with the film is the mood is very specific and kind of hard to capture that kind of feeling on film without it being overly sentimental. As far as talent attached, if we make the feature, if we get the money to do it, we have some great actors who are already on board, like Graham Greene, who was in Dances with Wolves, nominated for an Oscar, and Eric Schweg, who was in Last of the Mohicans, and Simon Baker, who was actually in Smoke Signals. Eric to play the father, Graham to play the mentor character that's not in the short film, and Simon Baker to play the brother.
You mentioned earlier about the publicity, about how before you knew it, you were getting interviews, and tell us more about that.
Yeah, I sent out a lot of emails for casting because I really wanted to get the right kid. within months, basically the entire Native American community knew about this movie. And I've been interviewed for like Native newspapers. There's already a chat room on IMDb for the feature. I haven't even made it yet, and there's like tons of people talking about it. We had a Native producer out there, Larry Poirier, who worked on Skins and Smoke Signals and Into the West and all the great movies. He's a local Native producer. I decided I couldn't make this movie without him. And so he was there every step of the way because I wanted somebody from the community to be there because I knew that I didn't know all the details. And I just wanted somebody to be there to tell me exactly, would we do this, would we not do this? This is what we would do, and this might be better to do it this way. And hey, don't go there, this is sensitive. You know, just somebody, I wanted to get it right, you know, and so I had him there every step of the way, and I listened to him, and I took his ideas, and I took everybody's ideas. So it was a great experience, and he's gonna work on the feature. I didn't want to roll into the reservation with big generators and lights, and that's what the US cavalry did in the 1800s, you know. So it's very sensitive, and I wanted my actors to see him there with us and just know that this is a group effort. No one's telling you what you have to do. This is about just being there and experiencing it and us capturing it the right way.
So as far as casting, you mentioned that some of the cast were people that hadn't had experience, like the boy in the film.
No.
Great actor, I thought, but
He's got a scar on his face, and I saw that in the way he acted, his behavior just captured that's the kind of kid I wanted to show. Is just like this kid that had so much going on, and he's not your typical Hollywood kid, you know. He doesn't have all the witty lines. There's more to him going on than just that, you know, and that's what I wanted to show, is just the opposite of what you would expect.
more of the character, life experience.
More internal, you know, and just challenging you to watch this kid, the kind of kid that you wouldn't want to watch, you know. I would want an audience to look at that kid and study him.
It seemed like a very personal story. Did that come from anything of your own or from some research you had done?
I took elements of my life because I don't think anyone can make a good movie and not have something about you in there, because what's going to push you through the finish line ultimately? Like, if it's about you, I think you're going to go that extra distance. You're going to finish it. You're going to get it out there and pay all those festival fees and do all those pitch meetings, and just like, if it's about nothing personal to you, I think it's very easy to give up. It's very easy to put it on the shelf and just, you know, leave it there. It didn't work, put it on the shelf, that's it. But if it's a piece of your life, I think it'll take you where you need to be. The cultural thing, I think, is what makes it truly unique. I mean, divorce is something that people experience everywhere. You know, it doesn't matter if you're on the reservation or in Europe or anywhere. It's like everyone experiences it. As I said, Native Americans are underrepresented in film. I just wanted to get a camera out there and show these people how great it is and how great they are. And it wouldn't have been the same movie if I had shot this in the suburbs, you know. It's about these faces. It's about the faces of these people and the landscape, and all of that adds to the imagery of what I'm going for. So I wanted to show something that was both beautiful and sad and inspiring at the same time.
So where can people get more information about you and the Stone Child and all of your work?
Email me. Triple Martini, TRIPLE MARTINI at Verizon, VERIZON.net. My website, it's www.triplemartini.net/Stonechild, one word, STONE, child, and that has everything online, our prospectus, our budget, everything. All our locations are scouted, we have our crew lined up, a lot of our actors, we're pretty much ready to go, we're just waiting for the financing.
Thanks so much, Christopher Martini, here at the Rhode Island International Film Festival, screening The Stone Child here on Spoiler Alert Radio.
Thank you very much.
You have been listening to Spoiler Alert Radio. On this episode of Spoiler Alert Radio, we spoke with Christopher Martini, writer, director, and producer of the film The Stone Child. The interview was recorded live at the 11th Annual Rhode Island International Film Festival. For more information, visit triplemartini.net/Stonechild. Thanks for listening.